Why you did it? She was my mother. Why you did it, Tommy? Cause you got your king. And my mother said I could watch this. Now that is about as Afro American authentic as pretty much the dialogue there. Although it's meta because this is written by Robert. I really don't know. Don't counsel me. Just welcome to your mother said I could watch it. My mother said I could watch it. Your mother would probably be very embarrassed. 1987 and Hollywood Shuffle. So I'm 12. The films are 15. It's a comedy. I haven't covered comedies in terms of mainstream ones, if be it a black comedy. I say that as if that's a thing. I want to talk about race and comedy in this film, but first, because again, I accept that some of you out there will not have seen this film. Shame on you. Shame on you. Absolutely shame on you, because it was 1987. Robert Townsend plays Bobby. He's an aspiring black actor um, in the suburbs of LA. He lives with his extended family, Nana's around the corner, and he's got a very supportive girlfriend. His trials are really to do with the hurdles that are faced ostensibly by all actors, but really even more so by black actors, um, as he tries to reconcile his dream, his job, his relationship with his family, and also the standards he wants to set moving forwards. Till finally he reconciles himself that it's better to be a genuine role model to his family, particularly his younger brother, who absolutely worships him, than a fake somebody doing the jive jive chicka chicka wah wah that white Hollywood wants him to do. It's full of sketches. It's full of humor. Um, I love this film. I've always loved this film as an ethos. It's only really watching it now. I've always quoted the final scene. There's always a job at the post office. That other people, when we've doubted whether or not what we're doing is of any relevance. It was strange watching it again. It's the first time that I've watched it in its entirety, despite the job at a post office line, since I was about 12. Um, and you know, my ethnicity doesn't define my perspective, but it certainly informs it. And I do think, in regards to this, I should extrapolate. I'm a mixed race man, um, Irish and Indian, respectively. Why that way round? Well, because mums always get top billing. I was brought up in South London, Lambeth in particular, and I spent the last 17 years working in Lambeth College, one of which a few years in. So I've worked with what we like to go diverse and representative, and at times terms like challenging are thrown in there. But the reality is neglected and we can't be bothered. That's the code that's used whenever you see that in an educational place. But we're here to talk about Robert's film. I remember the sketches; they were hilarious then. Black acting school. I didn't remember the actual audition piece. There's a fantastic montage of actor after actor just being absolutely dismissed by the casting trio. Now, Dom Herrera really does live that Murphy-esque quality. He gets called back. The various parts that we're seeing and not seeing. My personal favorite, ironically, and I was thinking a lot of that while watching this, was the sneaking into the theatre reviewers, showing the difference between actual critics and your layman's view. Does it use stereotypes? Yes, in two ways. On the one hand, it's using stereotypes showing the racism that is, you know, at this point, just a fact of life. Its work is often thrown in there. Some people over another going, no, this is selling out versus, pay the bills. There's many moments within it. As I said, the acting is called the sneaking thing. Even stuff that I wouldn't have really recognized. At 12, I would have just gone for funny voices. And as I do think we have to look at the broader sense of comedy and race here. My first
role, as I see this, as I'm watching this film now, I was in Edinburgh University, so I was 25, and I wanted to take a change from comedy. So I thought there was this day where all the plays were going together. It's like the first years and so on. I was doing a master's, and there's about 10, 15 different plays on. I managed to get audition for three. I got one. It was Eric Bogosian Suburbia, which I absolutely love. It's a great film. I probably won't cover that film because it was too later in my years. Um, and I wanted to be part of an Eric Bogosian production. I mean, my God! So I got a role in Nazir Chaudhry, Pakistani corner shop owner. Uh, now you can argue it's about age as much as ethnicity. First thing I did when I got the role was go, I'm not tanning up. I went, yeah, yeah, that's fine. We weren't planning that at all. Yet they basically had too many physical attacks. The idea is he got attacked. Managed to mitigate a lot of that. If I'd been that much younger, I would have gone along with everything because that would have been part of the show. 25 was able to ask some questions. I think post 30, I would have gone no effing way. Um, and it exists to this day. Everything in this film is still going on. Um, it's kind of sad because you see a lot of stuff being called out more. You see a lot of talk about representation. You see a lot of talk about comedy. Some people claiming that uh, this is some sort of quota system of diversity. It's not. It is about bums on seats. The idea that going woke goes broke. Well, two Black Panther and Barbie are just sitting there and going, no, there are audiences. You've just decided that you're scared of them. And that is about fear. The film that really hit me this time is that it does spend a decent wedge establishing his family connections, establishing his social connections. He's got a good relationship with his girlfriend. Um, Nana's right, absolutely, and the fact is, he wants to be a role model to his brother. This this film has enough compassion and does the thing that we very rarely see at this time. Um, Batty, batty, batty. You know what? Do you live till the end of the scene? Then it's a good film. It's about franchising. It's about making money. These are people's individual choices within these things, and it makes it much more grayer. It's not as simple as saying someone sold out. Uh, People got stuff to do, and I know from my own experiences, the people who've told me that my work was a bit too ethnic, it does slightly touch on. And I've got all these groceries going for me. I could easily just not say a thing. I don't think there's an award for stating the obvious, unfortunately. There's certain who feel that pointing out that racism is wrong somehow entitles them an award and a get out. Right? It's wrong. What are you going to do about it? Well, I'm going to wrap this up by saying definitely, I just bought the film. American Fiction's coming out. I've ordered the book by Percival Everett. I'm listing all these things that I've done, not so much because I'm a great guy. You already knew that. I'm just listening in the fact that if you genuinely believe in hearing different perspectives, different voices, alternative views, whatever you want to call them, not an alternative views, they're a bit. Spend your money. Spend your money. Buy books by black authors. Go and buy tickets for black comedians. Go and buy albums directly. Go and check them out. I'm not even asking you to intellectualize because if there's anything that I learned now, looking back at a college I no longer work at because I feel it wasn't doing right by what young people need more so when they come from diverse backgrounds in order to allow the true opportunities in life, right? Money, give people your money, spend on it, don't torrent it. Retweeting and shares all well and good, but if you've got that time, then go and buy a ticket. Just buy a bloody ticket. Go and see the shows, and just see something that you hadn't experienced before. I'm not even talking necessarily about black comics or Asian comics or Irish comics or female comedians like they don't exist within the other stratas I've just mentioned. Just go. Because I'll tell you something. If I've got £10 and I've got a choice, and there's a poster there, one of the posters is a guy who looks like me So it's an ostensibly middle-aged, straight, pale male with a bit on it, shrugging his shoulders, going, "What do I know?" Or posted next to it is an hilarious hour of Embarco Shinto, the non-binary one-legged Nicaraguan post-transition, telling you what their life is absolutely like since their times now that they've gone through so many things. I'm going for that other show. I'm going to that other show because I'm going to get more out of that show. They're going to be just as funny. They'll both have probably spent as much time writing those jokes, but god damn it, I'm going to that other show, right? And it's not voyeurism or bedlam at all. Fancy. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say. Do check out Hollywood Shuffle. Spend the money. £6. Robert Townsend, you absolute genius. Wayans, you really are underrated for the work that you've done in creating so much exposure for so many artists and creatives from the 80s and so on. Um, some of that is self-inflicted because the idea of white chicks too. But I've got to give you your dues for what you've done. And with that, I'm going to leave you and good night.